Needham channel viewers, and welcome to the 19th episode of Real Money Moves. I'm your host, Connor Gillen. Today, I'm excited to be joined in the studio by Danielle Kittrick, a home stager in the greater Boston area. I invited Danielle on the show to help break down the role of a home stager in the selling process and share some key insights that every home seller should know regarding staging. Danielle, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, and thanks for coming by and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure's all mine.
No, it's great to have you here. Love to shed a little insight for our viewers in terms of, again, the role of a stager and how you can, add tremendous value to the sale process. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into home staging?
Certainly. So I've always loved design and real estate. They definitely go hand in hand. I've been in the real estate industry for about 20 years.
Amazing.
I started on the banking side. And most recently, I've also worked for a real estate law firm, but design was always a passion, and I always tried to find a place for it. But home staging was its home. A friend of mine gave me my first opportunity for a home that he was putting on the market that needed a little tender loving care.
Sure.
Some fresh elements to make the space look a little bit better for photos and for open houses. And it all manifested from that one stage, and here we are a year into it in about 20 stages.
Wow, that's incredible. That's great. So what exactly does a home stager do, right? And how is it different from interior design or decorating or anything like that?
Okay, so there are two different types of staging. There is vacant staging and occupied staging. And vacant staging is for somebody who is not living there, or it could be a newly developed home that hasn't had anybody live in the property yet. So occupied staging is complete opposite. It's the person who will be living in the property as it's currently on the market, but we will reorganize furniture, declutter, depersonalize, and make it seem like people can vision themselves in that space.
Got it. That's great. And do you have any statistics or examples that show how staging can impact the sale price or days on market or anything like that?
Absolutely. Statistically, staging helps 70% more on more offers and also higher offers when you stage the property. A good example, especially on a condo that I just did, actually the last 3 to 4 condos I just did went off market in less than 10 days.
Wow. And they were all staged?
They were all staged.
And were the people living there, were they vacant?
These condos were vacant at that time, all very different. So each one had its own different design, different inventory that I put in there.
Yeah, awesome. And how do you decide which rooms to stage, or like what kind of like style or like theme you're looking for in these spaces?
Well, that's where a consultation comes in. Before I even discuss what I would bring into whatever room, I will go to the property with either the realtor or the homeowner, give it a good hour, and then discuss with them which rooms they would preferably like to be staged. If they don't have a preference, then I say, well, let's do the rooms that people mostly congregate in.
Right.
Living room, dining room, kitchen, a bedroom, perhaps even an office if there's an extra bonus room on the first floor. That way, when buyers come in through an open houses, they can emotionally connect to the space instead of trying to envision themselves there with their furniture.
Right, and they can kind of visualize and see even what the purpose of a space like a home office or bedroom flex space, whatever you want to call it, right? Gives a room a little bit more purpose, which is great.
And it takes 7 seconds to set an impression or make an impression. If you have a newly developed home, obviously it speaks for itself.
Right.
New amenities, state-of-the-art appliances, but when you have a big home and there's nothing in it, it can often feel cold, almost museum-like, and it could be overwhelming to the prospective buyer of, can I put 6 chairs in here or can I put 8? And they're wasting their time trying to put themselves there instead of saying, let's put an offer in right away.
Right, absolutely. And what are a few things that homeowners can do to make their home more appealing to buyers when it comes to staging.
Right, just like the occupied stage, the best thing you can do is declutter and depersonalize.
Yep.
If you have a family, obviously with children, with toys and so forth, what you want to do before an open house or before your pictures, gather those toys up, put them in a central location, put them in a closet somewhere neatly in a basket.
Yep. Yep.
Also with the depersonalization, if you have a lot of family photos up, a lot of people can't see past that. And also for security purposes, it's good for you to take down some family photos, especially for MLS listings or regular listings that you can find on the internet.
Right, right.
For privacy purposes. But I also say take away the cat's toys, the dog's toys, anything that may cause a room to look smaller than what it actually is. By reorganizing some furniture as well, will show the space in a better way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And finally, can you share your favorite before and after story and what kind of made the biggest difference in that home?
Absolutely. One of the condos I just spoke upon was a penthouse condo, and the ceilings were relatively low, which would have distracted anybody from that space.
Of course, yeah.
Even with the new kitchen, the new countertops, the fresh paint, it was beautiful, but the ceilings were very low. So I had to make sure the design made sense so the prospective buyers can come in and say, oh, I can have a living room here and I can have a dining room here with the extra counter space to sit down to have a dinner with a friend or two.
Right, right.
That condo went in less than 7 days.
Wow, yeah, so it's so quick.
It was also, the owners really loved it, and it took a little bit for them to want to list it because it opened their eyes to see their spot in a different perspective.
Of course, of course. Well, that's great. This is all tremendous information, and thank you so much for joining me today on the show and sharing your insight. I know our viewers are going to, take a tremendous amount of value from all this, especially the home sellers that are watching. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 19 of Real Money Moves. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just stay informed, I'm here to be your trustworthy advisor. If you have any questions or miscellaneous real estate needs, please reach out to me at the contact info on your screen. Same goes for any staging needs you may have. Feel free to reach out to Danielle, whose info will also be on your screen. It's a joy for us to connect with Needham residents and viewers alike. I'm Connor Gillen from Real Money Moves, and I'll see you real soon.